So what I like about the XAG is basically everything hardware related. Now run. You see how much nicer a row it did there? Let's see what it does.
T100 hovering.
I am hovering. Come on.
T100 hovering.
I'm telling you, this drone has been nothing but nightmares. How's it going, folks? I'm Mike with Drone Day Recovery. You guys are about to see the review video that I wish I would have seen before I bought this drone and this drone. So let's jump right into it. Here we go. This is the XAG P100. XAG builds the drone. This model is called the P100. DJI builds this drone. This is called the T40. So we're gonna compare the two, what I like about the XAG, what I like about the DJI, what I don't like about the XAG, and what I don't like about DJI. By the end of this video, you will know which one you should buy for your spray operation. So first off, we're just gonna measure the size of each drone. Okay, so this drone measures 11 feet, 8 inches from that prop to this prop. This only measures 9 foot, 10 inches. So it's almost a 2 foot difference. What's weird about these drones is basically that one's way bigger for the exact same tank size, which is 10.5 gallons in there, 10.5 gallons in here. So what I like about the XAG is basically everything hardware related. First off, the arms and stuff, like if you grab the thing, it's just solid. It is built, engineered great. You have 4 motors instead of 8. Like these 4 motors can do exact same as the 8 do on DJI, so less maintenance. It just makes sense. You got 2 batteries in the XAG, so if one battery, like, I don't know, completely blows up or, you know, goes down, you still have the other one to create power. But you can't hot swap, like the Matrice 30T that you guys see us fly with Drone Day Recovery all the time. You can't like take one out and put another one in and keep the drone powered up. It basically, it runs off of one, it uses the other to charge while it's flying. Another great thing about this tank system is it uses a peristaltic pump. So what that is the chemical that you're spraying never actually touches any part of the pump itself. So the pumps are gonna last a ton longer than they will in the DJI, because the DJI uses a impeller pump, basically, is how I understand it. Now, I'm not a professional at this. I'm just telling you what I've learned trying to teach myself along the way. You can put the sprayer up to stow, which is great. Like, you can't do that with the DJI. Those things are just fixed. Look at this stupid plastic that they use for like the hoses. Like, why plastic? Like, they use good quality hoses. This is like a rubber something hose, just way better. Then you come over here to this like plastic looking thing. What is really nice about the XAG is you can take the drone itself and just pop it off of this tank, set it onto another tank. You just basically come back here, unplug the wire, take 2 hoses off, you open this up, boom, you got the drone off. It doesn't have any lights. Like, it has these lights, but you can't really see these lights when it's flying. Like navigating lights, red and green lights on it to know which direction. And it also doesn't have any spotlights on it. The DJI does have spotlights. Yeah, and so you got nav lights here and here on all 4 arms. Another great thing on these drones, the props. The props are just beefy, tough. You see these props, they're thin, they're flimsy. It sounds like they're, I don't know, like a hard plastic or something. These little tiny lights on the XAG, but they're so little that you hardly ever use them. Another thing I forgot to mention is this camera is fixed. It's fixed, it doesn't move up and down. DJI, the camera, you can take it, turn it straight down so you can create boundaries if you want to. 2 pumps, 1 for each. And it's the same way with the DJI. DJI has 2 pumps as well, but they're not peristaltic, they're impeller pumps. I don't know much about the insides. I just know that the connections and stuff on the XAG are just perfect. Look at these wires. Look at that. Do you see any exposed wires on the XAG? Come on, DJI. Drives me nuts. So what you do in this situation is you just quickly put this back on. Supposedly they have the same waterproof rating. I guess I haven't really checked into that. I just know that Roger from Ohio Drone Repair had one of these in there to repair because somebody pressure washed it. This is the radar on the XAG. I just think that their processing speed is slower because it doesn't read the data fast enough to tell the drone what to do, like gain altitude and that type of thing. Hardware side of things, this thing's got it. Like, they got it dialed in. What I absolutely hate about this drone is the software. How you build fields, how it uses RTK or VRTK to do navigating stuff, and that's all getting into the soup of how this drone actually goes out in the field and sprays the field and then comes back. Like, the software, it is not good. I'm sorry, XAG. Once you get it figured out, call us. I'd love to use your drones. What I like about the DJI software, plain and simple. If you compare it, it just quality-wise looks different if you have that to compare it to. A big thing that I do like the T40 over the XAG P100 right now is that these arms fold up and the P100 does not. So basically, you can transport this a whole lot easier in the back of a truck. Folds up, nice, compact. This does not fold. I mean, obviously you can put the props in on the XAG, but these arms do not fold. There you go. You just take this off. Come on. Well, so that you just seen how long it took me to undo. You got the hoses, you undo the wire. Maybe if you do it a couple times, it wouldn't be as bad. So we'll redo it again. Basically on this, all you got to take off is 2 hoses. You don't have to crank anything. You just pull that hose out, pull that hose out, unplug this, boom, ready to go. Take this off, you take this off, you lift the whole drone up, bring it over, and set it down. I mean, that is ease of use. That's how easy that is. So let's show you guys how you fly these drones. So to fly the DJI, you fly it with this remote, this screen, just like normal drones, right? Like, this is how we understand how drones are flown. They have a remote that go with the drone. You have a screen so you can see what all you're doing. That's how you fly the DJI. The XAG, on the other hand, I mean, what is this? This is the remote that you use to fly this drone. But you're technically not supposed to be using the remote much to fly it because you do it on this phone. So you go to the app and you do everything inside of an app to fly the drone. So then you can upgrade to the XAG drone remote like this, and then you put your phone in there like such. Now it starts to feel a little bit more intuitive, right? You got your sticks and stuff like that, but come on, guys, like, you gotta have an Android because it works better. You can't use an iPhone because you can get the app on the iPhone, but the whole process of building fields and that type of thing, it just doesn't work good. So you gotta have an Android. Another thing I don't like about this thing is I have to do everything in meters and liters. I can't pick imperial. I'm in America, I'm sorry, that's how I've learned. I went to Amish school. I don't know all those meters and liters and type of things. Yes, I can use Google to convert, but I don't want to. DJI allows me to pick imperials, right? Acres, feet, gallons, that type of thing. XAG does not. And I don't want to fly it with this pistol grip looking remote. Like, just throw that thing in the garbage. We are going to fill these guys up and we're gonna go make them fly the same field, the same mission, and we'll get into the software of how you make this drone go fly the field and then the DJI drone go fly the fields. So I'm showing you guys the process of mapping out a field. You've never been there. You want to create good boundaries. You will use a RTK ground base station. That way your boundaries are super accurate when you create the boundaries for your drone to go fly in that field. I'm using a DJI Mavic 3E is what I'm using. And this is the ground station from DJI that will pair up with your Mavic 3E so you can create those boundaries accurately. And the reason you want to create a map is it's an updated map. You know, that hour, that second, you're getting an up-to-date, did a tree fall over? Did the farmer change his field? You know, there could be so many things of why you need an updated map, and you can't just go onto your app and, you know, build the boundaries from what you see on an old satellite map that might be 5-10 years old, and things have changed. So you gotta do, to really be accurate, you gotta do an orthomosaic map and then build your boundaries inside of there. That way you don't hit trees and stuff that may have grew that you can't see on an old map. So an RTK ground base station basically gives the drone 3 reference points is the way I understand it. So it uses satellite plus that ground station plus this on the drone. So when it has 3 reference points, it can stitch those photos together to be way more accurate. What you'll do with your Mavic 3, I'm just gonna build the map that I want it to fly across because we're gonna do this field up here. I choose what drone I'm flying. I tell it how high to fly. You can tell how many photos to take, but we're just gonna do that. And then upload the flight mission. You will tell it to go fly a mission high above the field, like way above the field, 250 to 328 feet above the field. You go out, you map it, it takes a photo every second, and then you put that into a software. We use what's called Pix4D fields. We take all the pictures that the drone took and you put it into the software, and then the software stitches it all together. So we've created the orthomosaic, and this is the map we created. So way more detail, right? You can see the sheep out there. That's without, that's with. And then within inside of that software, we will create the boundaries for our spray drones to stay inside of those boundaries. This was a test boundary, so I wanted to see how close the drone gets to this boundary before it hits this tree. It's supposed to be accurate down to 8 centimeters accuracy with an RTK base station. So I think that's like 6 inches of accuracy. So then we export the boundaries. For XAG, you export them to your farm management system, which is a cloud service. So you take the shape file and you upload it to your XAG. That way when you open the map on the app, you have to be connected to the internet, you open the app, and then that shape file that you created here will show up on your map so you know where the boundaries are. With DJI, we put it on an SD card, micro SD card, we plug it into there, download it to the SD card, put the SD card into our remote, and then we grab it off of there to put into our Smart Farm app, where we fly the DJI from. That's how you get the boundaries to your remotes. You can also upload your boundaries to the Smart Farm web. So basically you upload it and then your remote has to be connected to the internet to get that onto your app. No, we're just putting water in here to show you guys how it works. Let this power on, super easy. Going in, hit begin. We're gonna pick a route. We're gonna use the field. Can you believe it? It's actually that easy. Take the water out. It's probably got enough. I'm gonna go shut it off in here. I mean, seriously, this is how quick this is. Okay, here we go. I built an obstacle there because of the rock just to see if it does it, but it's doing fine. It senses the trees up there, but it understands what's going on. It just works.
It's a nice spread.
Yeah, so basically the green has already been sprayed, yellow is getting ready to be sprayed, and then I told it to do an outline of the field, and then it'll do an outline as well. It's flying up a hill. It's doing great, honestly.
The slightly faster, better build quality, it doesn't matter if you can't go out there.
Correct, yep. No, you just need something that has the processing speed and understands and have it all intuitive. Like, oh, it's just so easy. You see how much nicer a row it did there? This also processes what's been going on the time before and becomes smoother as it goes on. So I bought all kinds of stuff for these drones. I've dealt with XAG. Now I'm, you know, I invested big time into DJI because they've got it figured out. Yes, the quality might not be what the XAG is, but the ease of use, it's just so easy to use. Just putting water in here to show you guys how it works. So we're gonna turn it on, that way it can start. We've got the remote turned on. This little light is blinking. Once it's solid, then the remote has found the drone itself. Then inside of the app, you go to the XAG app. I have no idea where it went. You see it just went like crazy. Okay, so it found ourselves. So basically I created this whole field, told it which direction to fly, how high to fly, how fast to fly, how wide I want my rows, how many gallons per acre I want to put out. I told the drone all of that. Now run. Okay, so it enters the field. It does parallel processing. So it read an obstacle, supposedly. It's reading obstacles. See, this is where its brain is slow.
Avoiding obstacles.
Avoiding obstacles, don't know why.
Avoiding obstacles.
Oh, avoiding obstacles again. There's nothing there. It's the brain speed is so slow. Watch how smooth DJI does this. I mean, it's gonna be dumb. I don't know why it's avoiding obstacles. There's nothing there. It thinks the hill is an obstacle.
Mikey 100 obstacle avoid.
So stupid. What is it doing? This is like out in the flatlands. I don't think you'd have an issue at all. Let's see what it does.
Mikey 100 hovering.
Please hover before proceeding. I am hovering. Come
Mikey
on.
100 hovering.
Please hover.
Mikey 100 hovering.
It's even telling me that it's hovering. Then I hit this, it's saying, please hover. I am hovering.
Mikey 100 hovering. Mikey 100 hovering.
I am hovering. Please hover before proceeding. I am hovering.
Mikey 100 hovering. Mikey 100 hovering. Start operation.
Okay, it's going. Yeah, it reads the hill as an obstacle. No idea.
100 obstacle avoidance completed. Mikey 100 not enough terrain clearance, please be cautious.
What was that?
Mikey.
What was that? Well, now we won't be selling that drone. How are we gonna grab that thing?
Can you land it?
No, you can't land it because it's gonna hit the... This whole thing is guys. Like, now it's not about the video. Like, we sold this thing. It has to ship tomorrow. He just wired the money. That thing was just plowing into the dirt.
Yeah, yep.
Just now. I mean, I was like, I had no idea what it was doing. I'm telling you, this drone has been nothing but nightmares. How are we gonna get that thing on the ground? If that prop hits you, you're dead. That's what happened. You know, if you'd have two big boxes, you could just bring it right down onto the boxes. But one of those props is broke. The sprayers are gonna make the thing tip over.
We gotta hurry, right? Whatever we do, we only got a few minutes left.
Could get wild. This right here is a good example of how tough this drone is made. I seriously don't think there's anything wrong. Look, so I was like, maybe it unclipped, but they're clipped. Basically everything new, right? So the drone actually didn't crash. The tank crashed. Dude, I can't believe we landed it without it breaking anything. This is a true testament to how freaking tough these drones are built. Yeah, the props never hit. How in the world? Buy an XAG drone if you don't care to deal with headaches, but outside of that, They're just not ready yet. Their software is not ready. I cannot believe that that sucker did not hit the ground. Okay, that's what I thought. Like something hit.
What was it?
Something right there.
Okay, there's something.
You see this right here? Right here, like what could that have been?
We're initially impressed by the XAG. We compared the build quality. You see what it's like compared to at face value, the specs, all of that stuff. Now, 2 months in, tons of headaches, tens of thousands of dollars of drone equipment and cost and whatever. We know what we wish we would have known back when we first got into ag drones. Now we're 4 T40s. We'll be spraying with them this summer. If you're interested in shortening that learning curve, making it easier, quicker, and less expensive, give us a call. Either Mike or one of our team will reach out. We'll help you get set up with the ag drone that you need for your operation. And forget about all the add-ons and other stuff people are selling. We'll get you just what you need to get up there making money. We'll tell you how we price things. Our goal is for you to be able to make money flying a drone. It's what we want to do. It's what we want to set up other people to do. So hit us up. We'll be happy to help.